What's going on, everybody? gfunkyboxing here. Random live call-in show. I'll be opening up the lines here in a few minutes. Some news, man. A lot of stuff's been going on in the world of boxing today. And I had to come on here and say something, man. Jesus M. Fotex. What's going on, guys? What's up? Yeah, who's Charla fighting again? We're going to talk about that, man. We're going to talk about the Showtime boxing schedule that was released today. And then we're also going to talk about Vergil Ortiz pulls out of his fight, well, withdraws due to rhabdomyolysis. I hope I'm saying that correctly. That's a hell of a medical term. Rhabdomyolysis, I believe, is what it is. And I'm not trying to laugh at what's going on with Vergil. It's just, me trying to say that medical term correctly. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, that's the word, man. Rhabdomyolysis. It's like a situation where, from what I read, it releases like a protein into your blood that could be very harmful, and it could do damage to your kidneys and stuff like that. And not a good thing, man. Not a good thing. Um, let's see. Yeah, that's what I just talked about right now. He was in the hospital. His dad said that he's doing well. He's recovering. He's expected to make a full recovery, so that's good. HLD in the house. What's up, man? We're gonna get into that right now, man. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, Jesus. Votex, a breakdown of muscle tissue that releases a damaging protein results in the release of protein into the blood. Yep, it's a bad situation, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that right now. We're gonna talk about that right now. Um, and look, man, I already know. I want to get this out of the way real quickly, okay? I already know what's gonna happen here. Is the usual suspects are gonna take this news and create a narrative, right? I am so glad that I'm not doing shows about narratives anymore, and I'm just talking boxing. And the reason why I came out here is because I wanted to talk about fights announced. A fight that I actually wanted to see was canceled in the Vergil Ortiz versus McKinnon fight. Now I know a lot of people were disappointed in the matchup, but for me, like here's the way I look at it, man. Yes, Vergil was the big time favorite in the fight, for good reasons. And he deserves to be the favorite, but he's in there with a southpaw, okay? Now, I was already making notes and everything. I was gonna put the my prediction breakdown video on this fight up tonight, but because the fight got canceled, I didn't do it. And I'm here live with you guys. I want to talk with you guys about it, but I want to give my thoughts real quickly, man. Is that let's see, Bushido Boxing. I don't know who that is a bozo trying to make narratives about the Virgil. Oh, of course, man. Of course. His dad said that he just was losing weight too fast. That's what I heard. Toby in the house, my brother, the boxing historian. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Uh, yeah, his dad said that he was losing weight too fast, and you know, he didn't look to be himself. He looked very weak, and they caught it just in time, which is good. And it's a very dangerous thing, man. Very dangerous thing that could happen. Kid Top Skull, what's up? Yeah, it sucks big time, man. And like I said, look, I want to talk about the matchup first. I'm going to talk about what's going to be said about Vergil, okay? But I want to say that, look, again, he's in there with a guy with two knockouts, doesn't have a whole lot of power. He is a southpaw. He is very awkward. And to me, that counts as something. Um, Vergil has, from what I've seen, has fought one southpaw in his professional career. And the fight, I can't find it on YouTube, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I seen it live because I didn't. I think it was like a fight or two before the Orozco fight, which was a good fight for Vergil. Um, but I didn't see that fight. So I couldn't go back and watch it to see how he, what he did and stuff like that against the Southpaw. But I could tell you this, as far as man, I hope I'm saying his name right. Let me look his name up again. I don't want to be missaying his name, and I have such a bad short-term memory these days. Mckinson. Mckinson, right? Is very, very he's unorthodox. Obviously, he's a southpaw, but like the way he fights is very awkward, you know? And I personally think Vergil was gonna stop him, but I didn't think it was gonna be as early as a lot of people were predicting. I'm thinking probably like anywhere from like round 8 to 9 to 10, somewhere in between there. I was gonna predict Vergil to stop Mckinson. And again, it's because of that awkward southpaw style. Doesn't have much power, but um, some of the things that I seen that I think are issues with Mckinson is that um, when he punches, right now, it probably looks different on the screen, but like right now, I'm in the southpaw position, right? I got my right hand in the front, left in the back, right? So what I noticed, what he does is you guys remember Bernard Hopkins would talk about this thing called the bow and arrow, right? He was saying that when he fought Jermaine Taylor for the first time, and that was something he was going to capitalize on. But basically, what it is when you shoot your jab, right? What happens is you overextend, and then this hand comes back, almost like you're shooting a bow and arrow, right? Like this. Instead of keeping that glove here at home where it's supposed to be when you're shooting the jab, I noticed Mckinson a lot is like this. Sticks his chin out there a lot. And his last opponent I noticed was landing a lot of left hooks very cleanly on on the chin of Mckinson. Another thing I noticed is this. I think this is the reason why he doesn't have a whole lot of knockouts. It doesn't generate a lot of power on his punches, is because, and this is going to sound funny to some of you guys, but I'm a pro wrestling fan. I don't know if you guys are watching live or are pro wrestling fans, but in pro wrestling, they do this thing where, you throw the punch at your opponent and they punch you and then they stomp the ground at the same time. They come off the ground while they're throwing the punch and then boom, it's to give it more of an effect to the crowd. Um that's that's what Mckinson looks like when he punches, like he's leaping, like he's off his feet a lot of the times when he's throwing his power shots. He's not generating a lot of power. He's not keeping his feet planted to where he can again generate that power by twisting your body, putting your body weight into these shots. He's it's awkward. It's the weirdest thing. That's the only way it's the best way I can describe it from what I see, you know. But yeah, I would like to see him in there against a southpaw, Vergil that is. I would like to see him in there and figure out that unorthodox style from the southpaw position. HLD, it's not normal for a man who's 5'10" to weigh 147 pounds unless you live in a third world country, starving, or have thyroid conditions. I mean, it could be done. We've seen guys in the past do it. I mean, Tito Trinidad is 5'11". He fought a majority of his career, but again, he lived the fighter's lifestyle, you know? Now I'm not going to speculate on Vergil having weight issue problems. I don't know what it is. That's all I know right now. What that's been released. Let's see. Fotex is McKenzie has a similar style to Jack Catterall. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I heard it breaks down your muscles fast. Sounds very serious, and Vergil needs to take it easy. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous. Blinds you with the awkward jab. Yeah, he sure does. Tony Boswell, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by, man. I know it's late for you, but I appreciate you stopping by and saying what's up, man. But yeah, I wanted to see how Vergil was going to do against the southpaw and fight in that open stance. Now, the way I was taught is open stance, southpaw versus orthodox, right? Basically, like if you have two orthodox fighters or two southpaw fighters fighting, when they're in their stance, right? When they're the same, they come together, it's closed. The chests are facing each other. So if they were to come together, it would be a closed thing, right? that gap would be closed. Now, when it's southpaw orthodox, right? Again, just look in the mirror. You'll see that both chests are facing outward. That's the way I was taught, you know. That's the open stance. And I wanted to see how Vergil would do against that, man. I think he would have figured it out anyway. But I just wanted to see how he would do it, you know. I'm not like these guys that just like, oh, I'll beat him anyway. No, I want to see him do it. you know, I want to see him do it. Let's see. Oscar be saying hot air. Ortiz will be fighting champion in the winter. I mean, maybe he was hoping for that. I don't know. Let's see. It was a good keep busy fight with an awkward southpaw. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jordan Gooden says Alexis Arguello 5'10 and he campaigned at yeah. I mean, it could be done. You just got to be very, very disciplined. And look, I'm glad you guys are bringing this up because I've already talked about the styles and stuff like that and why I wanted to see Vergil take this fight and how he would, win the fight. But look, about the narratives about the weight, like everybody's going to make it seem like Vergil is the only fighter in the game that's weight bullying, right? What's going on, D Style? My man, HCP Network in the house. We know that there's a ton of weight bullies in boxing right now. Okay, but these guys are gonna act like Vergil is the only one doing it. Okay. And look, I've been one of these guys that's been saying for a while that boxing needs to go back to the same day weigh-in because it will force these guys to fight in the divisions that they near where they walk around, or again, live the fighter's lifestyle. Don't blow up in between fights. Stay in shape, People, got mad. Nobody wants same day weigh-ins anymore, G Funk, I mean, weight bullies. That's who doesn't want it, And it's just not healthy for these guys, man. It's not. Yeah, you've seen it often, man. You've seen it often. Guys very tall can fight at weight class. I mean, Tommy Hearns was 6 feet, I believe. I remember a fighter named Hugo Pineda was like 6'1", fought at welterweight. I mean, look at that Fonduro kid, man. He's 6'6", fighting at 154 pounds. Like he should be well over 200, you know. But yeah, look, and I wanted to get a hold of my friend and talk to him because look, this is very dangerous what these guys do to make weight. Okay, very dangerous, and this is not exclusive to Vergil Ortiz. Don't let these guys bullshit you. All right, their favorite fighter is most likely killing themselves to make weight as well. It's just not healthy. But I want to say this again because I know people that I've known for almost 30 years now, people that I went to elementary school with, became fighters, fought in the amateurs, fought professional. I know what these guys went through to make weight. I did an interview with my friend that I know since elementary school named Danny Savala. It's on my channel. You guys can look it up still. Now, I didn't ask him about this, but we've talked a lot, when we've, seen each other in person or on the phone. We've talked a lot about his struggles to make weight in certain fights in his career. The guy who I did the fantasy fight with, the Arguello versus Marquez, Mr. Pound for Pound, when he had a professional fight right here in our hometown of Sacramento, the weigh-in was done at Uriah Faber's gym, which is downtown here in Sacramento. He asked me to take him, right? I picked him up from his house. He was literally killing himself to make the limit. And he stepped on the scale and he still didn't make weight. So him and I, we had to work out to get him to lose. I think it was about 1.5 pounds or something. He was over still. And he told me he didn't eat for days. He hadn't eaten or drank anything for days. And he still came in overweight. And the cool thing about it was, Uriah came up to us. He was like, "Hey man, whatever you guys need, I got you, man. I got the sweatsuits, I got treadmills, jump ropes, whatever, right?" So I was like, "All right, let's do it, man." And because, like I said, I have experience working with this guy who was like family to me, so I helped him, lose the extra weight. He had to strip down to his bare ass and get on the scale. but he made weight. But I'm telling you, it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle for these guys to make weight. They're not the only one. He's not the only one, man. He's not the only one. And don't let these guys try to tell you that, man. And like, I don't want to talk about what narratives these guys are putting out. I'm done with that here on this channel. But I already know what's gonna happen. I know these guys like the back of my hand. And hey, what's up? Thanks for being here. F that, I don't know what that means. Give me a little context with that, man. Jared Hurd, yeah, these are big guys, man, that kill themselves. Canelo, back when he was at 154 pounds, we knew that he was killing himself to make weight. He would come in fight night as a light heavyweight. That's like a 20-pound rehydration overnight. Chavez Jr., a lot of guys. Tank Davis, we know that he kills himself to make weight. He's wearing sauna suits all through his training camp, which is not healthy. It's just not. My friends who have cut weight, who are professional fighters, have told me those are the type of things that you're supposed to be wearing like the week of the fight when you're trying to lose that 1 to 2 pounds that you just can't shake off. That's when you put the sauna suit on and get to sweating, Tank wearing the shit the whole fucking training camp, So again, a lot of weight bullies out there, man. But these guys, again, they're going to use it against Vergil Ortiz because they're afraid of a guy like Vergil Ortiz, man. They're afraid. They just are. See, a lot of MMA fighters cut 25 pounds of meat. Yes, they do. They sure do. Vergil's power will carry at 154. He's only 23. Yeah, he's going to get bigger. I'm not worried about this at all. If he comes back healthy, just move up, man. That's all you got to do. Or if you're going to try to squeeze down to 147, you got to change some things up. Is Canelo most comfortable at one? I believe so. Yeah, Spence too. I know Spence walks around. I've heard from an inside source. He walks around pretty heavy. Guys. But that's my take on Vergil. And look, I hope that he gets better. Okay, because it's a serious thing. And look, who knows what's going to happen, man? We just got to wait and see. But I just hope that he gets better. All right, guys. So here we go. This is the Showtime schedule, spring and summer schedule. And I want to talk about this. And as soon as I give my grades on these fights, I'm going to go ahead and open up the line for you guys to call in. If anybody wants to call in, you can. But let's go from the top to the bottom. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I forgot to grab a pen and paper so I can give these fights a grade. Because G-Funk's old. I can't remember shit these days, all right? Can't remember much these days. At least short term, So now I got to find a pen. Live. This is live, guys, all right? Cut me some slack. And of course, when you need a pen, you can't find one. Here we go. All right. Now I'm set. Just bear with me, guys, okay? Let me get back in position here. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's start at the top. Number one fight on the schedule. Who do we have? Tim Tszyu versus Terrell Gersha. I think that's a good fight. I think that's a decent fight. And look, I'm excited about Tim Tszyu. I really like the way he's fighting. Reminds me of his dad. It was a much bigger version of his dad, And this is a good fight for him, a step up, a step in the right direction. I believe this fight is in the United States. So, we're going to address everything, Fotex. Just stick around, bro. But I like this fight for Tim Tszyu. I'm going to give this fight a B. I'm going to give it a B. All right. You guys let me know what you think. And again, if you don't want to put it in the chat, you could call in and give me your grades. But we're going to write them all down. I'm going to write them all down. If you want to write them down yourself at home, go right ahead. Outlaw, what's up, man? Josa, hey, what's up, man? Fight number 2. Erickson Lubin versus Sebastian Fonduro. We talked about him the weight thing, and he's 6'6", fighting at 154 pounds. What is that? WBC super welterweight interim title? Is that what I see there? So hope they'll be in position to fight for the winner of the undisputed match, which is we're going to talk about here as well. This is I think it's an okay fight for me. I'm going to give it a B minus. That's my grade for this fight. I'm not going to go into like who I think is going to win or breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to give my thoughts on what I think of the matchup here, and you guys can come along with me. Okay, next fight, Spence versus Ugas. 3-belt undisputed on the line. I mean, not undisputed unification. WBC, IBF, and WBA all on the line here. And this is a great matchup, in my opinion. Very great matchup. And again, 3 belts on the line, which is something that I've been waiting for at welterweight. I've been waiting for these guys to mix it up, these guys with all the belts. So fight number 3, I'm giving an A. I like the matchup. I really do like the matchup. Both guys fight behind the high guard. They both, really good with the jab. Again, orthodox, southpaw. We got a volume puncher, pressure volume puncher versus a really good counter puncher, an elite counter puncher, in my opinion, in Ugas. So I think this is a good fight, man. You giving this fight a B plus? I'm giving it an A. A little bit better than your grade. Let's see. I'm only interested in 3 fights. This Charla versus Castano, Boots, Clayton, Valdez, Shakur. Those are good fights too, man. I hope Ugas throws a wrench in the and plays a spoiler. I think he's got a good shot, man. Again, I'm not gonna say who I think is gonna win because predictions are coming for a lot of these fights. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Okay. Moving on though. Fight number 4, May 14th. Jermell Charla versus Brian Castano 2 for undisputed at 154 pounds. You guys know what I'm doing here. I'm giving this fight A plus, and I'm giving both of these guys a ton of credit for running this shit back. It's not often that we get undisputed, but god damn it, these guys are giving it to us 2 times now. 2 times back to back. Now, look, I think Castano clearly won the fight. I know a lot of you guys believe that as well. Okay. But look, there's nothing we can do about that. But we're getting the fight. We're getting the rematch immediately. So we got to give both guys a lot of credit for running it back here. Let's see. Raul Martinez says G Funky Jermell fighting another truck driver. He has no business fighting this. Oh, I know. We're gonna talk about that. Don't worry. And I'm gonna open up the phone lines for anybody that wants to call in and give their piece on any of the topics that we talked about tonight. Fight number 5. David Benavidez, El Bandera Roja, versus David Lemieux for the WBC super middleweight interim title, which could put them in line again to be a mandatory for the WBC belt, which Canelo Alvarez has. I'm giving this fight a C because I wanted to see the plant fight. And look, Lemieux is past it, right? In my opinion. He's still a big puncher, but that's all he really is, you know? And I just, like I said, man, I wanted to see that plant fight. Maybe even Charlo, if Charlo was to move up. We're going to talk about Charlo here in a minute, but it's just not the fight I wanted for Benavidez, right? I would have took the Canelo fight too. I think that would have been the most exciting fight at a super middleweight, in my opinion. That would have been the most exciting fight out of all of them. But that's my opinion on that fight. I'm giving it a C. That's the lowest grade so far that I've given any of these fights. So moving on. May 28th. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Rolando Raleigh Romero. Now, I predicted this fight would happen after uh, Raleigh pulled out the first time due to legal stuff. They threw in Isaac Cruz, and I said, you know what? After they gave the decision to Tank, I said, and he said no to a rematch. They're going back to Raleigh. I mean, it's pretty easy to me, pretty simple to me, and that's what they're giving us. And I'm giving this fight a D. I'm sorry, man. And there will be no prediction for this fight coming from me. None. The only reason why I'm not giving it an F full text with you is because Raleigh's got some pop. He's strong, but he's got to land. He's got to just land a punch, a crazy punch, and I just don't think that's going to happen. So, yeah, that's my grade there for that fight. And again, I'm not going to be doing predictions on fights that are fucking give me's like this, okay? Not going to do it. No point, okay? I like to break down fights that are interesting and that are competitive, that make you really scratch your head when predicting them. Fight number 7 now. June 4th, which is my wedding anniversary. Great day for me. Stephen Fulton Jr., the WBO Bantamweight World Champion, versus Danny, the baby-faced assassin Roman. Good damn fight. I like Roman a lot. We've had him on HCP a couple times. I like Fulton as well, although I do think that he lost that last fight to Figueroa. Close fight, though. Close fight. But this is a damn good fight right here. And look, both of these guys, they've shown that they'll take on anybody. And this is a great matchup here, man. I'm giving this an A. This is an A for me. I like the fight. Think it's a really good fight. Can't wait to see it. I can't wait to break down the film because that's going to be a hell of a fight to predict, man. And a tough one at that. Moving on. What is that? 16th? June 16th, I believe. The fight we've all been waiting for. Drum roll, please. All right. Oh, man. Jermell Charlo, WBC middleweight champion versus Sulecki. Let's give him a hand for this fight, all right? Great fight. Great fight, They are just, I don't know what they're doing with Charlo. I don't know what the hell they're doing with Charlo at 160 pounds. Look at his brother fighting all the champions in his weight class. I have no idea what they're doing here with Charlo. And look, look what they did to Sulecki, guys. Look at the picture on the screen. They didn't even they didn't have a picture for this guy. Look, it's just a silhouette. It's a silhouette, bro. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life. I mean, wow. Just wow. That's the guy Charlo's fighting. His once a year fight, and he's fighting a guy that they couldn't even fucking put a picture up on the poster. I mean, look, I gave Charlo a lot of credit in 2020 when he took on Derevyanchenko because I feel like Derevyanchenko was one of the best fights he's had, right? And look what he's done since then. He fought once last year against Montiel in a tough fight. Now he's fighting this guy Sulecki, who's fucking Andrade's leftovers. He's been knocked out, I believe, by Daniel Jacobs. This is a horrible fight, man. This is an F. This is the worst fight out of all of them. With Tank Raleigh a close second behind them. But this is a horrible fight, guys. Horrible. And look, these guys who talk a lot of shit about other fighters, not fighting this guy, not fighting this guy. But I mean, come on now. At some point, you're gonna have to criticize Charlo for this. Like, this is bad. This is bad. Okay, let's see. Charlo should ask Al to give him the remaining 12 million. He missed out on when Al declined. Oh man. And look, we talked to Roberto Diaz from Golden Boy. We asked him if the rumors were true, and he confirmed that for us. So yeah. All right, moving on to the next one, and then I'm gonna open up the phone lines for you guys if anybody wants to call in. One call at a time, and I will not take block numbers. Okay. So that's the rules, guys. So let's go over the last fight. July 9th, Mark Mexio versus Ray Vargas. And look, good fight. Good fight. I feel like there's a clear winner in this fight, though, in my opinion. I'm not going to tell you who right now, again, because we're making videos, making predictions on these fights, okay? But I like this fight a lot. I like it. Giving it a solid B. That's what I'm doing. Giving this fight a B. I like the matchup. Ray Vargas finally getting active, and I like it. I like it. I'm good with the fight. Mexio, this is a look, and we got to give him some credit, man. He fights Gary Russell. Now I know Gary Russell coming off a damn near 2-year layoff, but Russell by far the most skilled fighter that Mexio's been in there against. And I feel like Mexio gave away some rounds there late. But he came through and won the fight. I felt like he should have won it more comfortably, especially with Gary Russell being injured. You know what I'm saying? But look, Vargas very skilled, man. Very skilled fighter. Knows how to box, knows how to use his range. I like the fight, man. I really do. I really do, guys. All right, guys. Phone lines are open now. Numbers on the screen, 916-572-1020. You can call in, talk to G Funky about give me your grade on these fights. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about the Vergil situation. And if not, hey, we'll call it a night, because it is late where I am. I know it's late, probably where a lot of you guys are as well. And I thank you all for being here with me on this late night boxing talk. Okay. And don't forget to hit my like button, guys. If you haven't done that, don't forget to do that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell. Okay, I'm going to go up here and read some comments. I wasn't trying to ignore your guys' comments, but I was just trying to get through these fights to grade them. Let's see here. My boy Mario P, the GOAT, says Danny Roman should take care of Fulton, in my opinion. Good fight, but Danny is a favorite, in my opinion. It's a good fight. Close fight. 50-50 fight, in my opinion. We saw some things in there with Figueroa. And look, Figueroa is very underrated. I was trying to tell a lot of guys that going into that fight, I know there's a lot of people that are excited about Stephen Fulton, but it's not all about just boxing and staying on the outside and things like that. A good pressure fighter can make guys like that, make it tough on them, man. And that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. So let's see here. Ray Vargas gonna win. Spoiler. Hey, we'll see. We'll see, man. Another one here. Ray Vargas can fight, but he's vulnerable to that overhand right. Well, I think he's a southpaw. I'm not sure. It's been a while. Like I said, he's been very inactive, but he fought recently. I forgot what undercard he was on recently. Good to see him back, and good to see him back again right now. He's got another fight lined up, so that's great. Mexio beats Vargas, says Josa. We'll see, man. I like the fight. The rest of the schedule is solid with good fights. Very disappointed in the last fight. He should have gave Gary Russell the rematch. You could argue that. You could definitely argue that. Outlaw says worst fight is Tank versus Raleigh, followed by Charlo. I have it the other way around. I have Charlo's fight with Sulecki the worst, followed by Tank versus Raleigh. And I can't believe that they're making us. Oh, I'm not going to pay for it. I mean, I might not even watch it, but I can't believe that they have the some fucking balls, man, to put that shit on pay-per-view. Some fucking balls. Overall, you say the schedule is a C minus to you. I didn't think about that to grade it overall. I was just grading the individual fights. So let me think about that. I have here three fights that I really, really like. 2 A's, A plus, 3 B's, 1 B minus, a C, a D, and an F. Yeah, I think I'll give it a C plus. How about that? C plus overall, I'll give it. Not bad, not bad. There's some mismatches, some step up fights and things like that. What's going on, Mad Dog H? Logic says would have made more respect for Charlo Lara than Sulecki. Golden Boy dropped the ball with Montiel, which will probably be the biggest fight under Spence Ugas. You mean excuse me, do you mean Munguia? Maybe you mean Munguia when you said Montiel. That was disappointing. That was disappointing because that's a fight that I think both guys really need. Charlo and Munguia need a big fight. Tank is the worst because it's also on pay-per-view. Yeah. None of those fights, in my opinion, on that schedule are worthy of pay-per-view. None of them. I'm sorry, there's not. Doesn't mean that they're not good fights, but they're just not pay-per-view fights. Pay-per-view is again, mega super fights, in my opinion. Raleigh has the power to put Tank to sleep. However, he does not have the skills to land flush. Well, that's the thing. If Tank could just stay disciplined, right, and not get into those wild exchanges and shit that Raleigh likes to do, he should be fine. Shouldn't be that hard, That's what you do with guys like that. I mean, we see it all the time. Look at the young prospects when they first start fighting. We seen Diego Pacheco a couple weeks ago, right? He fought against a guy that was very wild, and he just took his time, and eventually the skills took over, and he got rid of the guy pretty easily. Just stay patient, stick to your game plan, and you'll get the job done against guys like that. Richard Torres, the same, the Olympian out of California, made his pro debut. He was in there with a guy who was really wild, suffered a cut from a headbutt, and he just stuck it out. And eventually, again, his skills paid the bills, and he got the win. Ended up knocking the guy out in round 2. Let's see. Outlaw says graded is a solid B minus. If the Charlo versus Munguia would have happened, it would have given it an A minus. That would have definitely bumped it up. Yes, sir. Would have definitely bumped it up. Fotex says Charlo versus Castano, Boots versus Clayton calls my attention. Sorry, Catfish Spence, don't call. Well, I believe that Boots Clayton fight is on the. Is it on the Spence Ugas or the Castano Charlo? I can't remember which one it's on. It's on one of those undercards. Can't remember. Hold on. Let me put the schedule back up. Then I'll be able to see. Let's check it out. Let's see. Well, I don't know. They don't have the Boots. I thought I don't know what I was thinking. They don't have the Boots fight on there, but I think it's the undercard on one of these pay-per-views or one of these bigger fights that is on the schedule. But I was disappointed that we didn't get the Munguia Charlo fight. That really sucks, man, because again, that's a fight that both guys really could have used, At the end of the day, they both needed a big fight, They both needed a big fight, a big name, and it was perfect, man. perfect. You know what I'm saying? A perfect fight for both guys to have. Let's see. These fighters need to stop thanking Al and start thanking Steven Espinoza. He's basically keeping PBC afloat and uh keeping them form of the unemployment from the unemployment office. That's hilarious. But yeah, nah, you make a good point, man. Hate the fact that Jermell overshadows Jermell. Jermell Castano 2, Undisputed, Mertz, respect. Absolutely. And they're doing it twice, 2 times, man, because we had a controversial draw in the first one. So we're getting it again. So both guys. I honestly would have favored Munguia. It's a 50-50 fight. I think. I mean, again, I don't want to say who I think because I don't like to do predictions on fights that aren't made. But there were some things I seen that Munguia could exploit. Absolutely. Um, so I mean, I wouldn't disagree with I wouldn't argue with anybody if they said they thought that um Charlo would win. You know what I'm saying? Or Munguia, my mistake. Again, guys, if anybody wants to call in, if not, it's all good. We'll just go ahead and wrap things up. Like I said, I just want to come on here and talk about the news. And like I said, I already had my Vergil Mckinson breakdown prediction ready to roll. Unfortunately, Vergil becomes ill and is forced to withdraw from the fight. And, no need to put it up now. I don't think they're going to fight again. So, but I mean, you never know. We'll see. Raul Martinez says none of these fights are worthy of pay per view, especially Tank Raw. I agree with you 100%, man. Let's give him a hand for that one. I agree 100% with that one, man. Charla looked doggy doo doo last fight. I mean, I think what happened was he underestimated Montiel because I feel like he was winning the fight pretty comfortably early. And you guys know how a lot of the Mexican fighters are, man. They start slow. And if you don't get them hurt or get them out of there early, it could be trouble at the stretch, It could be trouble. And that's what happened with Charlo. He just thought he was going to go in there and walk right through this guy. He wasn't going nowhere. And then boom, he's there. And all of a sudden he's in a fight and he's losing rounds. He's getting busted up, getting hurt to the body, That's what happens, man. Charlo brothers game be declining ever since they started getting the bag. Yeah, I mean, I like the way that Jermell's been looking. Jermell, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I just disappointing. Very disappointing what they're doing with his career, man. Um yeah, very disappointing. Got to just move up, man, at this point. Like, why fight Sulecki? Why not just move up and try to fight Plant or David Benavidez, man? Like, why not? I just don't get it, man. Aside from Ugas Spence, which fight is the most likely to be an upset? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Let me put it back up. Let me put the schedule back up. I think Spence Ugas is one of them that could be an upset. Hmm. Now, I don't know the odds on these fights. I know Spence will obviously be favorite against Ugas, so that's obviously one. Um, I don't think Raleigh has a chance. Just got a wild puncher's chance. That's about it. Uh, Kind of the same with Lemieux, although Lemieux, we know he has legit power. We don't really know about Raleigh. Yes, he's big and strong, but I just don't think he's got the kind of one punch power that a Lemieux has. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna say Roman because I think that Fulton is gonna be the favorite going into that. My gut just tells me that he's gonna, as far as the odds go, he's gonna be the favorite. So I say Roman has the second best chance. Ugas and Roman, two guys I think have a good chance of pulling an upset. Um, And if Ray Vargas is going to be the underdog, I would say him as well. But I don't expect that. I really don't. Just being honest, I don't think so. Let's see here. Hey, Puro Sword, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. HLD says Raleigh, huh? You think so? Benavidez could get knocked out. You got you trying to get it out of me. You trying to get it out of me, man. But I'm not gonna say nothing. But no, look, Lemieux definitely has a puncher's chance, man. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He can punch. He's a natural born puncher, man. That's what he is. You know, and he's dangerous. He is dangerous. We said the same about Cruz. No, I agree. I think Cruz is more obviously to me, in my opinion, he's more skilled, much more skilled than Raleigh. Um, Raleigh's got the size, strength, punching power. I don't know if he has the kind of one punch knockout power though. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Um, oh yeah, of course they always do that, L Dog. Of course. Uh, Valdez. Oh well, that's the top rank fight. Yeah, but no, I agree. I think that's a close fight, man. A lot of people might disagree with me on that. Um, but I got a lot of stuff, man. I got a lot of stuff I'm gonna bring out for my prediction in that fight because I feel like people are, this you're only as good as your last fight or what have you done for me lately? Yeah, I get that. But I think a lot of people are really underestimating Valdez in this fight. I do. I really do, man. And I see some things that he can exploit. I do. It's just a matter of can he do it? And I think he can, man, because he has experience against Southpaws. Valdez does have experience against Southpaws, man. And that goes a long way. That goes a long way. William Box says, I think Castano wins. Look, Castano was Castano in that fight. He fought his fight for a majority of the fight, and I think he won. You know, he fights. It was a typical Castano fight, in my opinion. You know, he always finds a way to make the fight his fight. Become the ring general, the effective aggressor, landing the cleaner punches. I feel like he, just got to be himself again because I feel like he beat him pretty comfortably. It's Charlo that has to make the adjustments in that fight. He's the one that's got to make the adjustments. Raleigh has no chance, not even a puncher's chance. Still can't believe Smellerby put this on pay-per-view. I know it's greed, man. Cruz way more skilled than Raleigh. I agree. I agree. Haven't seen much of Vargas. How good is he? Ray Vargas? Ray Vargas is good, bro. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, check him out. I know he's been very inactive, but yeah, give him a look, Poodle. Um, see, I like Danny Roman, Castano, and Ugas's chances. Now I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Um, although I wouldn't necessarily put Castano in like the underdog. I feel like it's a 50-50 fight. If not, he could possibly be a slight favorite going into that. I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, I feel like he won the fight comfortably, 8-4, in my opinion. Castano might win, but Charlo could catch him. Yeah, Charlo hurt him a couple times, for sure. For sure. Hurt him a couple times in that fight, but he was hurt a couple times himself. You know what I'm saying? L Dog says, I think Shakur is overrated right now. He is very good, but some people are acting like he destroys everyone. Yep, that's kind of what happens. And look, I've been very consistent with this since I've been on YouTube. When guys who are coming up who pass the eye test, right? And a lot of people get excited and they start doing like you said. Um, a lot of the times it doesn't work out, you know. But I think that I think Shakur does have the ability, the skills, and the talent to be a special fighter, no doubt about it. We just got to see it. Um, and look, we got to give credit when credit is due. A lot of people, including myself, were disappointed in his performance against the Nakatelia guy. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. Too much movement, in my opinion. Too much. Didn't sit down on anything really. Not a very entertaining fight. And then afterwards, he says, he hit me with a shot, and I didn't like the way, I didn't like the way it felt. Like, yeah, come on, But look, he comes out in his next fight against WBO champion Jermell Herring. And, he's not on the bike. He's actually on the inside fighting at mid-range with Herring. And he showed that he can fight on the inside. Now, here's the difference, though. Herring, who's, naturally a counter puncher, but he doesn't have a lot of pop. He's not very dangerous. You can't just put your lights out or seriously hurt you with one punch. Valdez can. You know what I'm saying? Valdez can do that. Voltex, if you bet on Raleigh, just donate it to G Funky. Otherwise, you'll be losing money. Yeah. Hey, I like that idea. I like that idea, man. Logic. Lemieux is bigger name on Benavidez' resume than Durrell. Ooh, that's a good question. I would say it's close, but I would give the edge to Durrell right now, especially if he beats Plant or has a good fight against Plant. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion, Let's see. Eric Jeffries MOB says Castano is a good hard man to beat. Salute. Yeah, he is. Definitely. He knows he finds a way again to make the fight his fight, man. That's what he does, That's what he does. Raul Marquez, where is Dante's Box Nation? And Aki, keep the same energy. Jermell is fighting a cherry. And they're nowhere to be found. Is Canelo the only fighter that has to fight the best? Yeah, well, those guys are narrative pushers, man. That's just what they do. They'll never be consistent. They'll never keep it real. They'll never criticize the guys that they push because they're fanboys. Flat out. Vargas outbox Mexio, keeping it straight. Hey, that's a good prediction. That's a good prediction. Like I said, I'm not going to give mine because I'm going to do the breakdown on it. Valdez has to get on the inside, make it rough. It is his only chance. Let's see here. If Raleigh promises to buy his mom a home afterwards, I just might buy his fight. Hey, we all have our weak spots. Shakur Stevenson, not overrated. He's overhyped, but he's very skilled. I mean, I think it's kind of the same to me. I know some people don't like to hear that word overrated. It doesn't mean that he's bad. It just means that people are rating him higher than what he should be. I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I'm gonna tell you my opinion. This might upset a lot of people, but I always thought Kobe Bryant was overrated because there was a lot of people that were comparing him to guys like Michael Jordan. Some guys are even saying he was better than Michael Jordan, and that's overrating him. It's not close. He's not close to Michael Jordan. He emulated Jordan the best out of anybody, but he wasn't as efficient of a scorer, wasn't as good of a defender, wasn't as good of a team player. I mean, I'm getting into all of this stuff, but look, at the end of the day, Kobe's a great player, no doubt about it. I'm trying to be disrespectful to him, but that's overrating him to say that he was better than Michael Jordan. Let's see. I think Mel is just a better fighter. Okay, yeah, I got you. Let's see here. Jermell Herring has a history of struggling with southpaws. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I agree with you on that. And that's big that's big when you're fighting a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? That's big. Aaron Hernandez is here, guys. Back from the grave. Let's be real. Valdez ain't winning. I mean, that's an easy prediction to make, Tejano. Why don't you break it down for me? I mean, anybody can do that. I mean, it's like basically like flipping a coin and be like, well, heads Valdez, tails Shakur. Tell me how he can do it. Let's talk about it. Betting huge on Raleigh. I don't feel the upset in that one. I just don't. It's funny how De La Hoya says Canelo avoided Jermell. Then he's pulling out Munguia out of the fight. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to talk about those kind of things anymore, Logic, but I hear what you're saying, man. I hear what you're saying. Let's see. Oscar versus Shakur is a really competitive fight. I'm leaning towards Shakur, but let's not sleep on Oscar. I agree with you 100%. Agree with you 100% there, man. African G, my boy. Haven't seen you in a while, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. Let's see. When Canelo says you guys need to fight each other, I don't think he meant Sulecki. No, he didn't. He just didn't. Shakur by UD. Yeah, I hear you. That's not what history says. Now you're just trolling, so now you're just gonna get ignored. Let's see. I think Shakur is better mid-range fighter than Oscar. and probably a bit more versatile. Here's what I'm going to say. I think this is a big key when you're fighting against guys that are very defensive minded, guys who take pride in their defense and being not getting hit and making the guy miss, making the guys pay, you know. But I'll say this: intelligent pressure and volume punching can get you the W against guys like that, you know. Now, think about it like this, right? You got a guy in Shakur who likes to fight. Again, he's a southpaw. So, I'm in my southpaw stance right now, looking at you guys, right in the camera, right? So he's going to fight. Sometimes he likes to fight in that Philly shell. So he's going to have his, power hand, which is the left. This is going to be right here, right? To protect his face and part of his body, right? And the lead hand is down, covering the rest of his body, and the shoulder will block straight punches, maybe some hooks, depending on how good you can tuck that chin when a hook comes in. But here's what I mean, right? Shakur's bread and butter again is that left hand. He's dynamite with it. You know what I'm saying? Dynamite. So what you can do against guys like that who keep this hand right here for defense to block, right? Throw punches at it. The more you punch at this hand, you're almost taking it away from the defensive fighter, especially in the shell defense, right? I'm giving you guys a little jewel right here, okay, from what I see. But look, if you continue to throw at this hand, which is going to be Valdez's straight right hand, because that's the punch you want to throw, one of the best punches you want to throw against a southpaw. If you can get it there and not telegraph it, mix it up, but continue to keep that hand right here because he's going to want to block. Those type of guys, they want to block punches. They want to make you miss. They want to, they take pride in that. So if you could find a way to get in there with straight right hands, right hooks, keep that shit at home. You're almost taking that hand away from them. You know what I'm saying? You're almost taking that hand away when you do that against guys that are very defensive minded. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. Just going to leave it at that. I'm going to go back and read some more comments here before I wrap this one up, guys. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. This is good talking boxing with you guys. Let's see. Kobe. Yeah, Kobe's a great player, man. I just don't think that I didn't agree with guys who were saying that he was better than Jordan. See, I have Shakur defense and speed frustrating Valdez. Not Vergil style, who's there to get hit. Well, Vergil's a volume puncher, so he gives you a lot of opportunities to counter, But yes, completely different fighter from Shakur. And again, a southpaw Shakur is, so completely different fight for Valdez. Shakur not going to be dumb and stay in the pocket. No, he's not. He's not. And he's already kind of said that. And I'm going to make some short videos about some of the things that I've been hearing from both fighters, because I'm hearing some things, man. I'm hearing some things and I'm starting to picture some stuff in my head. You guarantee he's winning and you don't even know who I'm picking. That's how I know you're trolling. All right. You don't even know who I'm picking. Where you're like, oh, you guys are picking with your heart. Like, I never told you who I said is going to win the fight. All right. Let's see. You don't think it's time for Tank to fight someone elite? I like Tank, but Floyd is protect. No, I've been ready for him. I gave him credit for Leo because Leo was the best fighter he had fought in a long time since Pedraza, But then look what he did after that. Fucking Mario Barrios, Isaac Cruz, and then now Raleigh again. It's like, come on, bro. Like, right. I mean, these guys again, I'm not trolling, but then you you say shit like that, Oh, that's funny. Who do you see Canelo fighting before he retires? Benavidez, Charlo, Andrade, or all of them? I think he could fight all of them. He's got a long way to go, He's got a long way to go. And those are all, excuse me, guys. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that. My allergies have been bad this week, so I got to clear out some phlegm. But yeah, I think he's got time. He could fight all those guys. You know, Puro Sur says experience is key too. A lot of undefeated fighters are unfortunately going to lose some big fights due to the lack of experience and moved up too fast. Yeah, yeah, good comment. Joe Lopez, what's up, bro? Thanks for being here, man. Getting ready to wrap this one up, though. Yeah, Leo Santa Cruz was the best fighter he had fought. Maybe the best fighter out of all the fights that Tank's had. You know, at this point, I mean, would you guys agree with me on that? I think so. He was the most accomplished, the most skilled, I think. And fuck, he was landing some shots on Tank, winning some rounds. I know that fight only went 6 rounds, but he was landing some shit too. You know, he had Tank all swole up, so it was a good fight. It was a really, really good fight. You know, but yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up, man. Like I said, I'm gonna come on and just talk about the Vergil Ortiz situation, and I hope that the young man gets better. You know, you hate to see the young gun, you know, a kid so young suffer from something like this. But I hope he comes back strong. And look, if it's time to move up, it's time to move up, guy. You don't have a choice. You know, you don't have a choice. And the Showtime card, like I said, I'll go over one more time. Sorry for clearing my throat in your guys' ear. I apologize. But the Tim Tszyu fight, I'm giving a B. Lubin Fonduro, B minus. Spence Ugas, I gave it an A. Charlo versus Castano, Undisputed, that's an A plus, especially for running it back. Benavidez versus David Lemieux, I gave that a C. Tank Davis versus Raleigh Romero, that's a D. Fulton versus Roman, I gave that an A. Charlo versus Sulecki, that's an F. And Mexio versus Ray Vargas, I gave a B. And my overall grade on the schedule, spring and summertime for PBC Showtime, is a C plus, man. A C plus overall. Some really good fights in there. 4 really good fights that I like, that I can't wait to see. I'm going to try to do a breakdown on most of these fights. Again, I'm not doing one on the Sulecki. I'm not doing one on Tank Raleigh. Like, those fights are just, I mean, come on. There's no point in even breaking those fights down. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up, man. I want to thank you all for being here. Don't forget to hit my like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe, all right? The band is going to take you home. We are out. See you guys on the next one. Peace.